Hello everyone, my name is NinjaDogDB, also known as Vile by a few people, and we're continuing our Minecraft Let's Play series. Now, as you can see, I am not actually in my hidey hole that I was in previously. This is because I had actually tried to record this video earlier, and after reviewing the footage, I realized that OBS was not recording the gameplay at all. All it was recording was a black screen. I think it's because I resized the window when I was before I started recording to help me be able to see the game a bit better, and it messed up OBS's ability to record the gameplay, which obviously is pretty upsetting. So the previous episode was about 27 minutes long when I was recording it. As you can see, I'm not in the same place that I was earlier. That's because I went through a whole expedition, or started on an expedition, um, for this journey. And I also did some other things off camera. Now I'm just currently just waiting for daylight to come, but it looks like it's coming soon. And I'll probably make my way back and get some needed resources that I will need before I continue. It does stink quite a lot that the previous episode, well, this episode didn't turn out the way I wanted to, but it is what it is. I might touch back on some of the things that I mentioned in that version, though it kind of stinks because there was a perfect transition during that was uncalled for that allowed me to transition into the topic I wanted to talk about at the time. But yeah, I do want to thank y'all for the continued support on the second episode. It hasn't gained quite as much of a viewing as the first one, but that's okay. It has a respectable 132 views when I last checked. And we're almost to 100 subscribers, which is pretty cool as well. I'm pretty satisfied with it. The previous episode was more experimental, more so than anything. And I was just trying out to see if I could, have an episode where I don't just talk about Minecraft, but try to talk about some other things as well. But I do want to actually focus on Minecraft a bit more in this series as well, because I feel like there's a lot more I can say about this series, about Minecraft and the game as a whole. While we wait for the night to end, I've been using this because charcoal doesn't actually exist in this version of the game, which kind of stinks. I didn't mean to place the furnace here either, by the way. That was just a mishap. I am pretty far away from my base, but it shouldn't be that. I'm not that far away, and besides, I do have markers to help me find my way back. I was leaving behind markers so I could, get back here and get back to my base. And if I die, I left some markers near my base and outwards that I could hopefully find without any issues. It is quite scary being in the dark in this game because there's no brightness sliders, so this is probably pretty bad for y'all to be able to see. I was planning on just waiting for it to be daytime before I started the next week's episode because I thought that the game was being recorded when it wasn't. So y'all get to see this riveting gameplay. I know, me hiding in a hole because I can't see anything. Very riveting. I hope that it becomes daylight soon. Can't really see. I thought it was coming up, but doesn't seem like it is. Um, I will say that it is kind of creepy right now. The music earlier was pretty calming, but now it's just pretty quiet aside from some sheep. I will say this is also a pretty good transition into what I was going to talk about. So in the previous episode, when I was playing, cave sound had played while I was doing some mining. and I kind of wanted to touch back on that. So when I first heard cave sounds, when I first started playing the game, well, it looks like it's almost daylight, but when I first started, you know, when I first heard a cave sound, we all know that those can be pretty unsettling when you first hear them and you're not used to them. And I remember hearing mine for the first time and being scared so bad that I didn't want to actually do any, didn't even want to go into any caves or anything at all because of how terrified it made me. And I've kind of gotten used to them now, but you know. Oh yeah, and you also may notice that I have an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. I made that in the previous, well, in the previous recording session. And I also found some redstone in the mine when I was mining down. So I've got some redstone at home. It does kind of stink that y'all didn't see that. Oh, there's a creeper. Well, we first saw our first mob at least. Gonna have to be a bit careful though. And you can see this is my marker. There's a skeleton as well and a burning zombie. Yep, they drop feathers in this version instead of rotten flesh. That creeper though, kind of upsetting. Also, I tried to do some research on the snowing because it's been snowing nonstop for a while. And sadly, I don't think there's any fix that I could find. I couldn't even find much information on this infinite snow glitch. I know one of you mentioned this. Eve was the one that mentioned this, if I recall correctly, mentioning this glitch and not knowing if there was a fix for it. And I did some research and I couldn't really find anything dictating a fix or anything like that, which kind of stinks, but it is what it is, which is why I'm kind of wanting to explore outside of my base and do some looking around, which I guess this is good because like half the video, like half of the previous recording was me mining instead of actually doing any exploration. So that's actually pretty good. It kind of fits in doing some exploring out here. As you can see, I do have markers set up with torches on them, and you can see one over there. There's a cave down there. I do want to do some cave exploring at some point because I feel like that's also another thing we can do. Now, on the topic of part of this game, part of what makes this game very interesting, but especially old versions, is that this game can be quite strange playing by yourself. It can be quite eerie, especially right now where there's not much sound going on except my footsteps and the occasional chicken or animal. Not that chickens aren't animals, they are, but I just heard a chicken, so. But a lot of the time it gets really quiet when the music isn't playing, and the music doesn't play very often, so you're a lot of the time left with silence, which can be quite nerve-wracking and quite creepy, which is understandable. This version, like the old versions of Minecraft, can be described as being pretty creepy at times. As you can see, I did mine it quite a bit. And there's our 38 redstone that I found earlier. So I guess you could say I did some mining off screen, even though off camera, but even though I was trying to record it, but it didn't work out. Let's take all this coal with us. Let's see. I think we're good here. Yeah, I think we're good. Um, there is no charcoal. I did check that. I don't know if I mentioned that. I probably did. But yeah, there is no charcoal in this version, so kind of stinks. Which is why I came back, because I didn't have any coal and I didn't have any torches because I was using them on my pillars to help me find my way back easier. Oops, didn't mean to fall. Feels weird not having any food animations in this version as well. Also, I don't think there's any way to set your spawn point in this version of the game either. Because I don't think Crying Obsidian was even in the game. Or anything like that. I may have to turn down the graphic settings real quick. Hopefully the video isn't too choppy when I finish, because like I'm kind of worried that it might not be. But yeah, on the topic of this game being pretty eerie, it kind of makes sense because back in around this time there were some creepypastas, creepy stories that surrounded this game for a while. Especially one in particular, which I will mention now, and you probably know which one I'm talking about. And it's Herobrine. Of course. Herobrine's just, the fan favorite, the most popular creepypasta that originated from Minecraft, even being known outside of Minecraft. And it's quite interesting, the old Steve with white eyes kind of thing. Watching your every move, which kind of makes sense because this game feels really eerie when you're playing by yourself. Because you feel like you're being watched. Like right now, there's no sound except my footsteps, me walking through the snow. The only sounds in the game right now, that's all that there is right now, which makes it eerie and concerning because you're just walking in silence and you're unsure what might jump out at you. Oh, that chicken! I didn't see that chicken. That kind of came up on us a little bit. Gave us a little jump scare, chicken jump scare right there. Oh no! I didn't mean to fall. Also, shift does not crouch. Shift actually, I don't think shift does anything right now because there's no sprint. Only um, crouching and moving and all that. There is no sprint in this version, which makes getting away from enemies a bit harder, though their AI is um, not as good. Oh yeah, there's also this tree log over here that I actually went out and did it because I was trying to see if charcoal was a thing because I didn't have any coal on me to light up, but turns out it didn't. I'm having some issues. Let's turn down the render distance to normal. But yeah, and I mentioned Herobrine because I've actually been getting into creepypastas a bit at lately. Been listening to them while working and all that, because I always found those types of things pretty interesting, and I've always enjoyed them. There we go. I'm gonna look at this video and post and see if it's okay, like if it's not very choppy. I do want to get a video out. Oh, interesting terrain. Interesting. Very interesting. Part of why I wanted to explore, oh my goodness, the game is having some problems loading things in, or at least I'm experiencing some issues. I'm not entirely sure why. I haven't had these problems when I was recording the other videos, so I don't know. This video may not come out as well as the previous ones, and I'm a little worried about that, but I do want to get an episode out because I already tried recording one, and it is kind of frustrating if I don't get another one, if I don't get this one out, because I really don't want to leave y'all hanging for right now, especially since I don't have any community posts access, so I can't even notify y'all if something happens and I can't record a video for a week, for like over a week. I'm exploring partly because I want to be able to um, see if I can find a place that isn't snowing, because there's so much snow and it makes it hard to see for one, and it also makes it harder to see in the video as well, which kind of stinks if you ask me. Now it's getting dark. It's getting dark again. Okay. Time to do my classic hidey hole design. This is what I do a lot. This is a design that I like to do. Hopefully a spider doesn't come in because they can be pretty difficult to deal with. I don't really need to burn this out. But yeah, I am kind of upset a little bit that the episode didn't originally get recorded when I wanted it to. But at least I'm recording it now, and at least I figured it out before it went up because that would have been pretty bad. My goodness, it's so quiet. So quiet. But yeah, I find it interesting how Herobrine got so popular, in my opinion. It came out during a time when like the game was starting to gain some traction, and someone came up with like, creepy story, there was a screenshot, all of that stuff, and it just kind of escalated from there. Someone did a live stream saying that they found Herobrine, and that's when it really took off, if I recall. I remember people speculating that Herobrine was like Notch's dead brother, despite Notch saying that he never had a brother to begin with. And then I found it funny how the developers basically embraced Herobrine to the point where they removed him from the game in the patch notes of a lot of updates, which I don't think they do anymore. So they probably got, I guess you could say they removed him for good. I guess you could say that. Um, though I don't know if they removed him from this version of the game, but he was around before this version, if I recall correctly. So who knows? Maybe he's still in this version and we haven't found him yet. But hopefully this expedition turns up something pretty good because for one, I really want to find a place that isn't snowing, but it seems like it's snowing for miles and miles, and I don't know if there is such a place that isn't snowing in this world. I don't want to start a new world. I don't want to start a new world at all, but I also don't want it to be snowing all the time either. Um, I don't really know what else to do except mine, I guess. But we did some exploring. We went back, got some supplies, basic necessities. You know how it is. And who knows? Maybe we'll find something cool during this expedition, because this is only the beginning. And we shall continue in the next episode, which, because I think this episode is going to end when day breaks, basically. But, you know, until then, we shall mine, because this is Minecraft and we mine in Minecraft. I did create a custom thumbnail for this video. I tried to make it pretty simple and kind of capture like an older aesthetic. I didn't try to make it clickbaity or anything like that either. I wasn't really trying to do that. But I wanted to kind of put it in like a style and I created a template for it so it should appear on the later episodes as well, future episodes as well. Found some more coal. I really don't want to have to be mining, but it is what it is. Usually, wait, why did I move to my axe? I must have hit my scroll wheel on accident. Yeah. Usually people would cut out this part and be like, oh, they don't need to see the mining and stuff, but I don't know. I kind of just want to talk while I mine, while waiting for day to come. There was one point earlier in the previous video where I thought I found a dungeon, but then I realized, oh wait, no, I placed these blocks. I still didn't find the coordinates. I do need to research that at some point. I was more focused on the infinite snow glitch, more so than anything, but couldn't find anything on that, which kind of stinks. This episode is going to be even longer than the previous one. I do need to kind of get into a system where I make the episodes closer in length, but they feel like it feels like they're getting longer because it's already been 25 minutes. Um, you know, I think I might just end it here. I know it's not daylight yet, but this is about when the episode began. And I feel like we've done quite a bit. We did some exploring. We're kind of away from the base, doing some exploration, seeing what we can find. And who knows? Maybe we'll find something good, something cool in the next episodes. Anyway, this is me signing off, I guess. Hope you have a good day and a good night, or whenever you're viewing this. I hope it's good. You can like the video if you want to, but you don't have to. You can subscribe if you want to, but you don't have to. And this is it for me. See you in the next one. Bye bye.